Hello, everybody. We have a week until Christmas. Hello, happy Friday, everybody. Just a pre-warning as we get started today. My sinuses, as of 2 hours ago, just started running and running. A side effect from having the heat on in the evening. Hello, everybody. Miss Dari, Miss Maureen, thank you so much for moderating today and keeping an eye on the chat. I appreciate y'all so much. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's Friday. Today is the 17th. How is it going getting Christmas ready? I hope that this quilt series has brought you at least an hour or two in your week where you can just relax and leave all that stuff aside and just give yourself some relaxing time in the last couple of weeks. Hello, everybody. Paint Party Zoom. You see that on the screen? This evening, we're not doing a Paint Party Zoom. We're going to do it on Sunday. After today's live, for the rest of the afternoon and this evening, I have to wrap presents and get my house ready to receive family tomorrow. So no Paint Party Zoom this evening, but Sunday we can chill out in the evening, 7:30 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you're on Creative Crew, you'll find the link to join the Zoom there. And if you don't do Facebook, but you want to join in, send me a message over on Etsy, and I'll send you a link to join in a couple minutes before we get started. Terry, your sinuses are acting up too? I don't know. Just 2 hours ago, it just started running. Hello, everybody. Yeah, Paint Party Zoom. We've had a lot of fun doing the Paint Party Zooms, and some people who join in are not even making the quilt. They're just there to hang out with everybody and to have fun. So Paint Party Zoom, I wanted to talk about that. We are coming live next Friday on Christmas Eve. So put your Santa hats on, put the bells on your shoes. Join us next Friday. Our normal time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. I know Christmas Eve is a busy day for a lot of people, but for some of you, you might just want to get away from it for an hour or a little bit more in the middle of the day. So if that's you, feel free to join us next Friday. We're going to be revealing the final finished quilt that I already have, that the suspense has been killing me. It's been off to the side. I'm going to show you that. We'll reveal the last 5 pieces for this quilt, and we'll hang out, and I'll show you, give you some tips on putting this quilt together. So if you miss it, come back to the replay. Okay, and I do know Christmas Eve is busy for everybody, but then for 2 weeks, we're not going to do any lives on my channel. We're going to be traveling to Vermont for some of that time, and then I just need some downtime to recoup and get myself into gear for next year. So next Friday's live will be the last live for 2 weeks. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad that y'all are having fun. Debbie, I'm so sorry to hear that. You have a bad headache. Debbie, I hope you are feeling better. I hope you're feeling better. So before we get started today, let me switch over. I have a little gift for you. If you have made, let me get this cutting mat. There we go. If you have made any of the casserole carriers, you know, a couple weeks ago, I put a video out on my channel where we made the quilted one-size-fits-all casserole carrier that doubled as a quilted table topper, right? And in the video, I showed you how to make the free patchwork one. But the pattern also comes with 3 other designs, right? If you've made any of those this year and you're giving them for Christmas gifts, I want you to check out the link in the description box. If you're on Creative Crew, you might have already got this. I put it in the files section on Creative Crew. It's a 1-page PDF, and on the 1 page, there's 8 of these tags, right? I printed mine out on pretty patterned cardstock paper. It's not really thick, but it's thicker than normal paper, right? And then I cut mine out with my brother's Scan and Cut. But you could cut them, I tried to make them as simple so you could cut them out by hand if you wanted to. And then with my hole punch, I punched a hole and I looped mine in one of the corner loops on the back, right? With just some ribbon, right? And it's a little tag. So if you're giving these as gifts, the person knows that they're not only a one-size-fits-all casserole carrier, but that they could leave it on the table all year round as a quilted table topper, right? And then you can sign your name to it. So if you want the printout, it's down in the description box. It's free. Go ahead and grab that, and you can put these with your quilted casserole carriers. Y'all, I've been so busy for Christmas. I've quilted stuff. I've wood burned stuff. I've sublimated stuff. I burnt my finger this morning on the heat press. Can you see that? That's going to leave a mark. And it hurts like the dickens right now. But I've been so busy. But all of my stuff that I'm making, as of this morning, I'm done. I'm all done. Whew. Yes, so grab those tags if you would like them. Even if you think, well, I'm not making them for Christmas, but I'll make them next year. Get them now so you don't forget, and save them. And you can print them whenever you make those casserole carriers. By the way, I'm coming out with 2 new designs. I've already made one, and it is gorgeous. And when it folds up in the corners, it makes the coolest pattern. It's going to be a churn dasher, not the... This past one, we made a churn dash, right? Churn dasher and the double tic-tac-toe. They're both gorgeous. I can't wait for you to see them. If you're on Patreon, that's going to be your free pattern for January. But the pattern will be in my Etsy shop when it comes out. They're gorgeous. All right, is that all the news before we get started today? I think so. I just want to thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today in this series. I know painting on fabric is not for everybody, but even if you're not making this quilt, I'm just glad that you're hanging out with us. Now, week 4, I told y'all last week that this week had a piece that looks different from all the rest, right? Here it is. This is the piece that I'm actually going to paint with you today. The other pieces look much like what you've already painted, right? I'm going to set those aside, and I'll work on those this Sunday. And I thought, oh no, I left some black paint in my little tray. It's dried up now. I thought I could paint a little bit. We'll see if these paints are still good in these Dollar Tree containers. We'd paint a little bit on this piece today and just hang out. Susan said, have you ever made a memory pillow cover? I've made lots of memory pillows, Miss Susan, out of shirts and other things. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. It was one, well, I've made them several different ways. Some of them, the shirts have buttons, and so I don't put a zipper or an opening on the back. That's nice. When they have buttons, you can do that. Some of them I've made them with zippers at the bottom so that you could zip and take the pillow form out and wash it if you needed to. And some of them I did where it overlaps on the back, and you just put the pillow form in that way. What color was this? Eye. All right, with the color eye, we're painting on all of these little inside pieces. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's so great to see y'all. Although I'm going to say Merry Christmas next week too, because we will be live for Christmas Eve. I'm still using my trusty brush. Hopefully it won't put too many broken little bristles in my paint today. I like painting on one side and then going back on the other. So I've been seeing lots of pictures of your puzzle pieces. A lot of them are in the same colorways that I'm doing, and quite a few of them you've picked your own colors, which are gorgeous too. I don't think there's a wrong color combination that you could pick for this. It's been a lot of fun following along in your progress. So yes, I am done with all the stuff I'm making this year. I'm going to tell you what, I've had a lot of fun with the wood burner. I will probably invest in an upgraded tool to do that next year sometime, because I've just enjoyed it so much. It's been a lot of fun. Something different other than working with fabric. Although you know I love to work with fabric, I do like to do other stuff as well. And what it does is it gives you a good little reprieve so that when you come back to your other crafts, you're nice and refreshed and ready to go. I don't know if this past week y'all saw, it's up on the board behind me. I got the seahorse video done and up. That quilt was a lot of fun. That was a whole lot of fun, actually. I'm already thinking about the design for the next one. I would really like to do, you know, people do the bookcase quilts. I would really like to do a painted bookcase quilt with quilting books on the shelves, maybe a couple of crochet or knitting books, maybe some quilting notions on the shelf as little bookends, but that's been in my thought process for the last couple of weeks. I think that would be a lot of fun. My trusty paintbrush is still working pretty good. So I've painted all the lines in that direction, and now I'll come back and fill in the other side. That's just the way my brain works. These shapes are quite different than all the shapes we've done so far. Quite different. I still have the black lines from last week's blocks to do. But now that all of my gifts, like the things that I'm making for Christmas, now that that's all done as of this morning, I'm going to have a little bit more time to finish up those and to finish up these. And I will probably pre-paint the pieces for next week so that I can show y'all how they sew up, right? Because those are the last pieces. I'll show you how to square them up and how they will be arranged. And then we might sew together a row or two. Beverly said she's excited to see. I'm excited for you to see it, Beverly. one of my weaknesses is keeping well, I wouldn't say keeping a secret. If somebody tells me something confidential, I keep that to myself. But when it comes to something like this, I have a hard time keeping surprises. Do you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say secrets. I have a hard time keeping surprises. Especially when, like, it's a present and I'm super excited for you to get it. I have a hard time keeping that to myself. That's a hard one for me. See how I painted in one direction and then I come back? That's just how my brain works. So there's all of the eye pieces. Now we can pull out the color F. So let me wash that brush out. Anitra said she stinks at surprises too. F, the color F. All right, so as of this point, you might have noticed the color E, and there's one more color that we hardly used, G. On the first page of colors, and I think we talked about this in one of the other videos, and on the color chart, you have a color G and a color E. I assigned those colors to be highlights and to be like shadows and highlights, but I did not do that on my first quilt. And so you'll notice that you haven't painted any spaces with those colors. That's why. I thought if you wanted to get like super detailed, you could come in with these two colors and add some shadows and some highlights. But I ended up not doing that. I didn't really think that the quilt needed it after I had painted all of the pieces, just the solid color. So I actually ended up not using G and E. So if you're wondering when those two colors come into play, I didn't actually use them. Sylvia's thinking about doing it with different colors. I've seen some really pretty colorways over on the Creative Crew. They are pretty. While my brush is drying, let me take a sip of this. Hopefully my voice doesn't go cuckoo today. Dari, that's a good idea. Wait until after Christmas, when things slow down, you might enjoy it more. Maybe. One thing for sure is this quilt project wasn't meant to add any stress. It was actually meant to be something that takes some stress away. So if that would be more suited for after Christmas, then I would wait. All right, the F color is all of these pieces that come into that flower-looking motif in the middle. All right. Y'all, I'm actually really pleased with these Dollar Tree containers. I only bought one pack, and I think it had 6 of them, which wasn't enough to do all my colors. So I'll have to go back to the Dollar Tree. My paints have stayed very nice in them. I am pleasantly surprised. Dari, today I'm drinking Mint Medley. It is a green tea. I think it's a green tea. It might not be, but it is caffeine free. And it feels good on my throat. And I've been drinking a lot of that here lately. I get on kicks, right? I try a new tea and I really like it, and then that's what I drink for a good little while. Right now it's mint medley. It's got peppermint and spearmint in it. That orange just pops right next to that, doesn't it? It may not on the computer screen. In person, it does. Again, I'm just painting all messy right into that seam allowance. Just crossing that line right into that space of the seam allowance. Ooh, do y'all hear my bird? Glazed lemon loaf tea. Holy cow. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, my finger hurts. Here's my note card. Ooh, where do you get that from? Glazed lemon loaf tea. Where did you get that from, Debbie? Because that sounds delicious. My finger is throbbing. See that? Oh my gosh. It hurts. When you say glazed lemon loaf, tomorrow I'll be making some of the best lemon bars I've ever made. Oddly enough, I got the recipe off of TikTok, y'all. 5 ingredients to make these lemon bars using crescent rolls and cream cheese, lemons, the zest from a lemon, sugar, and butter. And I'm going to tell you, they are delicious. And they're fairly easy to make. I've made them twice already, and I'll be making some more tomorrow. They do not last long either. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like growing up, most of my adulthood, you know how when you go to family gatherings, you bring food or whatever. I always picked food or like desserts. I guess really desserts. I never found a dessert that people knew me by, you know, right? My mom, it's always been her lemon meringue pie. Everyone knows my mom for her lemon meringue pie. My Nana, she made fudge. She made dump cakes. She was known for a lot of different desserts, right? My gran was known for her baked chocolate custard. So we all have these things that we're known for. These lemon bars might go down in history as the thing that Lisa always brings because they're so good. 40-some years it took me to find something, dessert-wise, that is my staple. They're that good. Not my recipe, but I'm glad I found it. I do. I love the TikTok. Dari, I have a few videos on TikTok. TikTok is not my main focus. But if I have a video that is short enough, then I've uploaded it. But it's mainly bits and pieces of the seahorse art quilt. I'm not going to be focusing a lot of time creating videos for TikTok. There are quite a few quilters on TikTok, though. And I like watching their videos. Just making content for YouTube consumes a lot of my time. I don't know how much time I have to dedicate to another platform. I really just don't. And I'm pretty sure I don't have the energy for it either. You know that saying, you know, be good at a few, be really good a few things. Yeah. I don't foresee a TikTok future for me, but I like watching the TikToks. Yes, Celeste, my finger is throbbing so much. I was sublimating some blankets right before our live. And let me just tell you, I'm super excited about these blankets too, y'all. I found some blankets at 5 and Below, and they are so super soft and cuddly blankets. And then I sublimated pictures on them, and they turned out fairly well. Now, it was a Sherpa blanket, so it kind of looks like wool, or, it's really fuzzy. I think the next blankets that I would do it from fleece or something, because it would be flatter. This is kind of woolly and a lot of texture, but it's super soft. But it sublimated fantastically. And then, because I was trying to hurry up because I knew the live was coming up, I was not careful and I bumped my finger right on that top hot plate. But my blanket turned out great, so actually that was a lot of fun this morning too. Y'all, I have sublimated in this past week. I did some mouse pads. You want to talk about something that, a mouse pad seems like a really simple gift, right? But when you customize it with photos and stuff, it's an awesome gift. And they sublimated so well. I was really pleased. So I've sublimated like 12 mouse pads this week. And now some blankets. I'd really like to do a mouse pad with my logo on it for right here. That would be cool. Or to take a picture of one of my favorite quilts that I've made and sublimate that on the mouse pad for right there. That would be awesome. Ooh, I got a little crusty thing on there. All right, we have one more orange section. So what are some of the things you've done this past week? Are you dabbling in anything other than quilting, or what are your quilting projects that you're trying to finish up before Christmas? Or maybe you're all done and you're just kicked back. I will tell you, last year we were done with Christmas far before the 17th. Like, I don't know that this past 2 months have just like snuck up on us and then rushed right by. But last year we were not doing stuff this close to Christmas. We were done. All right, there's all of my F color. We'll bring in the H color. The H goes in the 4 corners. Dari's making bowl cozies and oven mitts. I saw Dari's oven mitts the other day on Zoom, and they were so professional looking. I'm going to tell you what, it looked like you bought them from Macy's. I was very impressed, Dari. H. H goes in the 4 corners. Cheryl is staying off her foot. How is it healing up, Miss Cheryl? Have you had a hard time not overdoing it this past week? Sylvia's made 2 book cushions. Ooh, I like those. Book cushions. Anitra just finished her Christmas table runner. Your tension issues have resurfaced. Goodness. I tell you what, nothing is more frustrating than having tension issues. That is super frustrating. And you do all the things that you know what to do, right? And it's still having problems. That is frustrating. Let me dry this brush really good. Oh, good. Your foot is healing. That's good news. Can y'all hear my bird? My dad is in and out of the house, and when he leaves, the bird calls for him to come back. And Harlan is in and out of the house this morning, and when he leaves, the bird calls for him to come back. Sheila's doing mainly cross stitch. You're going to sew them into pillows. And you're running out of time. I know. Not to add any stress, but I know today. I can't believe today's the 17th already. I feel like I should mix that up a little bit. It looks a little settled. Let me just mix this up a little bit. So just in case this is like the first video you've come in and you're watching, these paints have already been mixed according to the directions with fabric medium, right? And all the fabric mediums are different, so whichever one you're using, make sure to check for those specific instructions for mixing. But they've already been mixed, so they have the fabric medium in them. It's not just straight acrylic paint. Oh, Sheila, your oven's not working. Yes, if your daughter's expecting cookies, maybe you can come over here and make some. I'll only charge a small fee of 5 cookies. That's my fee. All right, the H goes in the 4 corners. All right, so there's that H. This one I left a little thick. Let me thin that out a little bit. Right into that seam allowance, y'all. It looks messy now, but you'll be thankful you did it. Again, I've traced all my inside lines with a friction pen, so when I heat set the paint, all these inside lines, like what you see, well, you might not see them because of the camera, but all of those are going to disappear. The only lines that are not going to disappear are the ones that I traced this outside box to, and then my numbers. I used a regular ballpoint pen, so those will not erase. We're going to heat set these pieces, and then we're going to square them up, right? I know, that's a bargain. 5 cookies, right? Charlie, I'll have to, well, it's not my recipe, but I'll share it with you over on the Creative Crew. When you're over there, remind me, because after the live, I'm going to be like rushing around, wrapping stuff and cleaning. But remind me so I can type that out and share it. All right, there's my piece number I, except for the black lines. What time is it? Well, we've only been here 35 minutes. Let's paint some black lines. Usually I like to do this part after this stuff is dry in case I put my finger in it, but let's live dangerously today. I like to hang out at least an hour with y'all throughout the week. So I'll mix up a little black paint. So there's my acrylic. I found this fabric medium. It's old. It's before they switched. It's the same fabric medium as this, but they've changed the label. Same medium, new label. This was in my stash. I was like, ooh, I just hit the jackpot. Let me just mix that up. I love it when you're cleaning out your crafting stuff and you come across something that you didn't realize or you didn't remember that you had. Wow, and now my dad's vacuuming during my live. Awesome. Can you hear the vacuum? He must have done forgot. He's gonna get it. Yes, Miss Anitra, I know you have to leave to go to the vet. Keep me updated. I hope your kitty is better. Sue said she needs to get her fabric medium and then she can start this. Yay! Sheila said, your dad is cute. My dad's going to be in a timeout when we're done with the live today. He's going to be in a timeout. It's like we know the rules. When we're live, it's quiet time for an hour to an hour and a half. We don't vacuum between 12 and 1:30, pops. Mainly, I just like to give them a hard time, that's all. Pretty sure you didn't even hear it. All right, so we have some fabric medium mixed in the black paint. You're exactly right, Cheryl. He is helping out. There he goes again. Actually, it might be Harlan. I'm blaming it on my dad. It could be Harlan. It is a blessing to have him here and be close to him. I will say that. All right. So yeah, usually I wait for... Actually, it's pretty with the white lines, isn't it? I hadn't thought about this until just looking at the computer screen just now. If you're on the fence starting this quilt and you're like, I don't know what my black lines would look like. Or maybe you've done the first 5 pieces and you stopped because you're like, the black lines, I don't do so well with the black lines. I'm looking at this piece with the white lines, and I'm going to tell you, I think it would be pretty if you just left that white fabric. I'm imagining the whole quilt together instead of black lines, keeping that white. I think it would be stunning. Yes. In person, it looks a little different than it does on the computer screen. That's why I always look over there. But yeah, if the black lines are something that's going to keep you from stopping to do this quilt, I would leave it all white. That space between your pieces, just leave it. I'm not going to fuss at him, y'all, too much. I know he's helping. It might be Harlan, too. All right, I'm just coming in. I extend that black right into the seam allowance too. And just like the other pieces, I usually do one side of the black line and then come back the other side. But that's just me. That's just me. What is your tip on doing the black lines? I tell you what, I've switched over from using the fabric marker to painting my black lines. I think it gives you a much solid coverage. However, once the black paint is dry, I have come in with the black fabric marker after that and touched up and straightened up my lines. So if that's easier for you, you might want to try that. I also, on the straight lines, showed how you can use like a straight edge, like an index card, to give you a nice, clean, straight line. I think that was in week 2. So you can go back and see that. And what I found was once I've painted in these black lines, we've sealed all of the fabric at that point, right? The black fabric marker doesn't bleed like it does if you just paint or color in on that white fabric just by itself. Sometimes that marker bleeds, right? But once we've sealed the fabric with the paint, we can come back with that fabric marker and get some really nice clean lines. And you might find that easier to do versus using a paintbrush. But I wholeheartedly, for my quilt, I like the black paint in these lines versus just using the marker. And that's just me. I think it's a lot darker and a more bolder finish. Does this block maybe a cathedral style block? I don't want to give too much away, Charlie. I don't want to give too much away. All right, so I can start going back the other way now. Cheryl asked, does this doing this in colored pencils, does doing this in colored pencils fade the colors? I have not tried it in colored pencils. I cannot say for certain. I am not sure. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I really like using the acrylic paints in fabric medium. There are so many acrylic paint colors out there, right? And you can find them relatively easy and relatively on the less expensive side, right? Versus your more fancier fabric paints that might be harder to find and budget-wise more costly, right? And sometimes those pretty fabric paints that we buy come in much smaller containers. And a project like this where the whole quilt is painted, we're using up a good amount of little paint, right? So for me, the acrylic paints are a lot more budget friendly with a lot more access to different colors. I'm really trying to do this so I don't put my fingers in that wet paint. I would say out of all of the parts of painting these blocks, the black line part is probably the most tedious for me. I really enjoy painting the other parts of the block, coming back to do the black lines. If any part of this quilt is tedious for me, it's that part. I wouldn't say I don't enjoy it. It's just my least favorite part of making this quilt. But once you do that, you're like, ooh, that looks so pretty. It's kind of like putting a binding on a quilt, right? I oftentimes will quilt a quilt and square it up, and it'll sit without a binding for some time. But then once you get the binding on, you're like, whoa, that's so pretty. Terry said she listens to an audiobook. When she does her black lines. That's a good idea. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm sewing, if I'm quilting, if I'm painting, whatever I'm doing, I find it much more enjoyable if there's music on in the background. I also do my better work if I have music in the background. Ooh, it's hard not to put my fingers in that. It's hard. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have quite the little blister right there, I do believe. Have you ever tried Zentangle? I like Zentangle. I've done some Zentangle quilting and then painting that in. What kind of music do you like? Oh, I like all the genres of music. I have moods though, so I guess it depends on my mood, right? Let's see, this morning I was listening to a little bit of Seal, some older Maroon 5. What else? That was this morning. I don't know, I find that I have different moods, and depending on, ooh, I almost messed that up. Depending on my mood is the genre of music I'm going to listen to. But I like everything. I like country music. I like older country music versus new country music. I like the older stuff. Like George Jones, that older music, right? I like classical. I like, wow. I don't know. I don't know that there's any genre of music I don't like. Let's see, let's go back in this way. Like that. I'll tell you what has taken a lot of stress off doing these black lines is realizing that if they're not perfect, it's okay because I can come back in with a marker once they're done. That has taken a lot of the stress off. Because before I was trying to get them exactly perfect. And now I'm like, well, if it's not exactly straight, I can fix that with a marker. Fairly easy. So far, my trusty paintbrush is doing a good job today. It's still the same one I've done. This will be my third quilt with it. Last week it was leaving little bits of hair in my paint, so it's had an attitude adjustment this week. All right, I just have a little bit right there, and this piece will be done. Let me do it that way. There we go. That is that entire block painted. Now I just have the 4 other ones, and I will work on those Sunday. Nope, this is the same old orange paintbrush I've been using. Same one. Rhonda, this quilt is going to be 20 inches by 20 inches when we're done. It's a good size little quilt, but not too big. Like it's big enough without being too big. All right. My paintbrush is washed out. It can dry up for Sunday. Thank you, Zella. I think after you paint this week's 5 puzzle pieces, oh, I have wet paint in that towel. You'll pretty much be able to figure out the order that these go in, right? Many of you have already started playing with the placement. So at this point, I don't know how much of a mystery it is. But yeah, it's been so much fun. It's been a lot of fun. So now I just have these 4 pieces to paint on Sunday. Again, if you want to join the paint party Zoom, I'll have the link up on Creative Crew. And if you don't do Facebook, but you still want to join us, send me a message on Etsy. I would do it Sunday, so I don't forget, right? And then I'll just send you the link straight on Etsy so you can join in. Terry said, I'm waiting. I'm not trying to figure it out. You're going to wait till the very end. That's hard to do, Terry. That takes some discipline. I'm going to tell you, when I was making my first quilt, painting these pieces, I was putting it together to see how it looked. Of course, I already knew what the finished picture looked like, but I was excited for it to come together. I don't know that I could wait if I was doing it week by week. Miss Celeste, I'm so sorry. This year is going to be hard, my friend. You've been on my mind. I know you've been on the mind of everyone who joins us weekly. Diana, the Zoom is going to be on Sunday. Let me pull up this screen. Since we're done painting. Paint party Zoom, Sunday the 19th, 7:30 to 9:30. We might go a little longer, but that's a good 2 hours. Sunday. Terry wants to be surprised. Then don't do it, Terry. Don't play with them. Don't start arranging. Wait till next week. The pieces for next Friday will be out Thursday. So you can download them here on YouTube. You can come here Thursday to get them. Or I've been uploading them in the file section on Creative Crew because for many of you, it's much easier just to get them there, right? So if you're in Creative Crew, that might be an easier place to get your puzzle pieces. And while you're in the files section, there's lots of stuff over there that you can download. Cheryl, anyone can join the Zoom, even if you're not doing the pieces, if you're not painting, but you want to hang out with us, you can join in. The cool thing about Zoom is that it's kind of monitored, right? We get to control who can join. So you either have to be a member of the Creative Crew or you have to send me a message on Etsy and I send you the link. I don't post the link publicly for just anyone to join us willy-nilly. It is controlled a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the holidays, not just Christmas, right? Thanksgiving, Easter, the holidays in general can be really tough for many different reasons, right? Losing a friend or a family member. Maybe you're someone like me. I really miss when my kids were little. I mean, of course, I love my kids now, right? But oh, the time when they were little just flew by, and I wish I would have like appreciated that time more and just drank it in instead of, I mean, of course I appreciated the time. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I miss when they were little. Christmas was so exciting, and Christmas is different now that they're older. Of course, it's still special, but it's just different. Maybe, we've had lots and lots of people affected by weather this past year. Imagine how difficult that is. But then we have a lot of things to be grateful for too, right? We have a lot of stuff to be thankful for. So I try really hard to focus on the good stuff. But the holidays can be really hard for a lot of people. Just know that we're here for you. And if you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to us. That's why we do the lives, is to build this community and the friendships. I know many of you have connected through Facebook because of the lives, or you've connected and exchanged emails because of the lives. And some of you have even met in person because you met in the live chat. And I love that. Monkey Socks said, how do you join the creative crew? There's a link down in the description box that brings you over to the creative crew. And there's a couple of security questions that you have to answer. But that's how you join. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for moderating as you're leaving today. And my other moderators, Miss Dari, and I believe Maureen was here. So yes, the rest of my day, I'm going to try to put some ice on this because I know I have some cleaning to do with hot water. That's going to be painful. Wrapping presents, all that fun stuff. I'm like Dari. What is VOG? What does that mean? What does that mean? At this point, we're just hanging out, y'all. I've painted the one piece I'm going to paint for now. And we're just hanging out and chilling. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't know that, and I might have missed it. If Devi's still here, I might have missed it. Where she got the glazed lemon loaf tea. I would love to know. She might have said. I just have to go back through the chat and see. Pat, I hit it on the heat press about 20 minutes before we were live today. So it's like, whoa, 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 the whole time. Oh, she got it from Walmart. Okay. Well, that's easy. Walmart. I say it's easy. Have you been to Walmart lately? Walmart before Christmas is not my favorite place to go. We were there yesterday, and by the time we were done, well, we had gone to a couple different places, and I was just done peopling for the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when we first start Christmas shopping, oh, it's so much fun over shopping, and by the end of the day, I'm like, I'm done peopling for the day. I want to go home. Jeannie said, soak your finger in iced tea. It helps with it not blistering. I might have to try that, Jeannie. I think it might be too late. Is it too late? Soak finger in ice tea. I'm hoping maybe that it's not too late. It's got quite the little mark on it. Cheryl, it's a tea. Tezo glazed lemon loaf tea. Doesn't that sound delicious? Goodbye, Miss Celeste. Just know that we're praying for you. Thank you, Dara. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was supposed to mean either. The funny thing is, I was hanging out during a live stream last night, and I saw someone say something like that too, and I was like, what is that supposed to mean? I don't know what that means. Valeria. How are you feeling, Valeria? I hope you're feeling better. So, you know what? Oh, okay. That's what that means. All right. I did not know that. Cheryl, you saw me on another site. It might have been, I watch Deb a lot on Thursday nights. She does the art quilt Thursday nights. Y'all, I watch several channels. Hers is one. She streams Thursdays and Sundays. I'm usually there, but I don't chat a lot. I don't chat because I don't want to take attention away from what they're doing in the videos. You know what I'm saying? But I watch a lot more than I chat. So I'm usually there, but I don't chat all the time. Valeria, oh my glory. I'm so sorry to hear that. Monkey Socks says, answered the questions for the crew. Well, we're here, so we won't be able to join you in until after the live. What was I getting ready to do? Oh, I was going to go get the blanket that I burnt my finger on. I have to move this paint out of the way because I don't want to get paint on it. That would not be good. I think all the other paint is up. I will turn the screen down. Oh, no. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to share his picture. I didn't mean to do that. Let me grab a mouse pad. Yeah, I think that's safer. I'll show you some mouse pads that I did. I didn't want to share pictures. There we go. So some of the mouse pads, they're in little clear plastic things. So, yeah, isn't that pretty? The colors, I mean, if you're into anime, I'm not, but my son-in-law is. So that's awesome. That one's got a picture. That one's got a picture. That one's got a picture. I did one for the office. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. I did one of a picture my son took on a camping trip or a hiking trip. He goes hiking a lot in the mountains. That's awesome. Did one with cats on it. That's super cute. I did another anime one. I don't know who that is. That's got a picture, pictures. So I cannot share those. But then I was doing wood burning, so I could show you that. Isn't that awesome? Y'all, guess what this was done with? Ink tints. Isn't that pretty on the wood? It's so pretty, especially in person. In person, it's a lot prettier than it is on the screen. So, yes, those are bearded dragons. Nope, I'm not selling these. These are presents. These are presents. Dari said, you're making me want a sublimation printer. I'm going to tell you, it's so much fun. There's so much you can do. I haven't done mugs yet, but I would really like to get some mugs and do some mugs. Miss Valeria, you'll have to re-sign back up. There's a link down below in the description box. Try to click on that. Your daughter's getting one, Dari? Ooh, you can play with it. Yep, this was a lot of fun. This project here, and I did another one too. I did a cutting board that turned out pretty. I was super impressed with myself. And it just like lit a fire, and I was like, you know what? I think I would like to invest in a little bit of a better wood burning tool and really kind of explore this a little bit more next year. Because that was a lot of fun. Diana, you've been wanting to do wood burning. I'm going to tell you, I really, really enjoyed it. Other than when I was done, like the smell was in my hair and on my clothes. So later on, we were watching TV and I was like, do you smell something burning? Is everything unplugged? You know? And the smell was in my hair and my clothes, right? From just like being over top of it. That was the only unpleasant part about it. And it really wasn't that bad. I just, didn't pay any mind that the smell would have gotten on my clothes. And I smelled like sitting around a campfire. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the only bad side effect. Not that that's horrible. But other than that, it was awesome. Marlene, thank you. That tea I'm looking for. Walmart, Target, and Kroger. We have all those. Target and Kroger. I'm going to look for some of that tea. Where do I find your address? I have a P.O. box. What is my P.O. box? I don't remember it off the top of my head. Hold on a second. Oh, something else I found. Okay, so yesterday I cleaned my studio, right? Because I had a mess. Look what I found. I forgot I made this. A crocheted beanie. So I'm kind of excited to wear that to Vermont. And it's super soft. I forgot I made that. Let's see. Where do I have... I don't want anything in my planner exposed, so let me do that. I've already shared too much today anyway. Let me see if I can find my P.O. box. Address. I might have to post it on the Creative Crew if I don't have it written right here. Ooh, I got my new Happy Planner for next year. Joann's had sewing themed Happy Planners. Have y'all seen those? Give me a second, y'all. A sewing themed Happy Planner. I don't know that I have it written down right here. So I'll probably have to post it on the Creative Crew or send me a message on Facebook, Cheryl, and I will get that and send it to you. Diana, I did all that wood burning with the cheap set. I think it was like $18 or something. It came with a bunch of tips, and I've watched some reviews after I bought it that say, oh, these wood burners are not that great. So let me just tell you, I kind of liked that it came with a whole bunch of tips, and I like for $18 that I figured out that I really like wood burning, and because it gives you enough tools and enough heat to figure out if you like it or not without investing a lot of money. With the $18, you can do some really fantastic things. I would say I got really frustrated at certain points because of the tool itself. And maybe it's just mine, but it seemed to get really hot and then really cold. And there wasn't a lot of time in between. Like all of a sudden you're going and it got really hot and made darker marks out of nowhere. So for me, it was frustrating, but I was able to do some really cool stuff with it. And I didn't waste a lot of money to figure out if I liked it or not. If you really like it, then I can see upgrading really quick after the cheap set. Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't take me long to figure out that I liked it, and this set was going to be frustrating for me. Trinita, you love the puzzle pieces. Yay! We're almost done, too. We only have 5 more after today. Monkey Socks, sublimation printers for quilting and sewing projects. I'm going to tell you, well, here on my channel, I have lots of videos printing photos on fabric, and I show multiple different printers and different ways of doing it, right? You can get some great results, but I'm going to tell you, since getting into sublimation, the sublimation results are far more superior in my experience. So yeah, putting photos in quilts. Well, y'all, it has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and painting one of the pieces out of the 5 for today. We have 5 more. just a heads up. I will probably paint my 5 pieces and heat set them before next Friday, but you can grab yours on Thursday next week. And next week we're going to do the big reveal. I'm going to show you my finished quilt. I'm going to show you squaring up the pieces that we've already done together. I'll probably have many of them already squared up, but I will save some to show how we're going to do that. And then I'll show you sewing some of the rows together. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. Again, I know next week is Friday is Christmas Eve, so many of you are going to be super busy. So I will miss you during the live hangout if I don't see you next week, but there's always the replay. And then after Christmas, y'all, if you've been putting this project off, y'all can chill out and take your time. And all of the videos are saved in the playlist. So you can just get your pieces from the videos and yeah, have fun. Have fun. Let's scoot on over here. I hope this week before Christmas that even if you're not doing this quilt, that you find some time to slow down and just I keep saying relax. I don't know why that is so heavy on my mind here lately. Relax and slow down. But if it's on my mind, it's for a reason. So I'm going to say it. Relax and slow down. Life passes us by so quick, right? I will see y'all next Friday. I might see you if you join me on Sunday for the paint party Zoom. Until then, relax and slow down. Bye, everybody.